What's up, guys? This is the Modern Bladesman with the review of the Hoffman Richter Reaper. Now, this is a single-edged tanto point fixed blade knife, apparently limited edition. That kind of sucks, but doesn't suck for the people that own it. And if you do manage to find it, well, this review is for you. Now, this knife in general is actually not too bad in comparison to some of the other Hoffman Richter knife products that I've got. It's definitely on the top of my list. A lot of the other options that they have is not too good, especially in comparison to other knives of the same price or the same weight and stuff like that. But without further ado, let's begin this review. Now, let's begin with the sheath here. Now, this sheath, as you can see, it's based off of Kydex sheath, but it's not actual Kydex. I don't know what material this is, but it feels like a super Chinese cheap version of a Kydex sheath. It just, I don't know, it feels like it's too brittle, but you know, for a lot of other stuff, this probably be fine. It's got that belt clip here. It's an okay design. It is ambidextrous. You can switch it to the other side pretty easily. And of course, has a drain hole, which is pretty good. Good job in Hoffman Richter for that. Now, when it comes to blade retention though, that is where the sheath gets a miss. You can see, it doesn't really hold the knife too well. Actually, it holds it pretty damn poorly. So, yeah, that's definitely a loss for me. But, I have another Hoffman Richter Reaper right here. And this sheath is just perfect. So, I don't know if that's just the quality control problem, because, you know, the sheaths are pretty cheap. But, yeah, this one is pretty crap, but this one's pretty good. So, no good in Hoffman Richter for that. But, if you don't like this fake Kydex sheath here, or you have one that's super rattly, like that one right there, they also come with this nylon sheath here. Now, this nylon sheath, it comes pretty stiff. You kind of have to break it in. It doesn't fit the knife super well in the beginning. But once you get it, this one's not broken in yet, by the way. Once you get it, fits really nice. Super silent, so that's pretty damn good. I like that quite a bit. Now, of course, you're not going to be able to deploy it as fast as if you had it in this sheath, but in terms of just blade retention and, you know, ease of carry, this is the way to go. The only thing is, not reversible. So if you're a lefty, you might want to just use this sheath and just reverse the belt clip to the other side. But, you know, it's good that they have two sheaths if you don't like one of them. But I would have preferred if there was just one sheath, but it was, you know, pretty damn good. But now we have two pretty mediocre sheaths, and that's kind of a shame, but whatever. Sorry about that, guys. Camera battery ran out, so we're just going to start with the blade here. This handle, as you can see, is pretty damn handsome looking. Holds your grip quite well because of that flared bottom. It ain't gonna fly your hand, which is pretty cool. You can also hold it in the saber grip here pretty comfortably. Then again, I have normal sized hands, so if you have larger hands or you're wearing gloves, your mileage may vary. Don't know about that. It's got a pommel here, and it's gonna work really well. It's thick, and the knife is also hefty, so it's gonna break pretty much anything in, be it glass, rocks, a dude, you know, it's gonna do that job really nice. And also it's got a lanyard hole. You put a lanyard through that. It's got a, you know, kind of a mini guard here, a really cute guard with a really cute finger choil right there. So I guess your finger doesn't go up, but you know that finger choil is pretty much useless. It's got some jimping on the back, which holds your thumb super damn well. But the edges right here on the side are pretty sharp, so it ain't really comfortable jimping, but it holds your finger. So if you don't care about sharpness or whatever, or you got leathery hands, it's gonna do well. Like, I don't mind it too much. So if you, it's not a big deal, but if you can handle it, you know, it's some good jimping. But for the handle material, they used, I'm pretty sure, the same steel as the blade. Makes this knife really, really heavy. A lot more than it needs to be, honestly. Because the important thing for a knife, for me, for a fixed blade knife, is the balance. If you want this to be like a self-defense knife or a woods knife, the balance is like in the handle, like 3/4 of an inch back from the blade, which makes cutting like really, it feels weak, honestly. And for a knife with this design, that's just kind of a shame. I think it would have been really great if the handles were a different material. I'm pretty sure they're removable, so I just might take them off, because it makes the balance kind of wonky and not too great. But you know, let's move on to the blade here. Has some nice designs there. Got that pretty cool wolf. I don't know if you can see that. It's got on both sides. 440 stainless. That's the steel, by the way. 440C. They use for the blade here. The blade design is pretty cool. I don't know if you can see it. It's a tanto recurve. Well, of course you can see it. You're not freaking blind. Well, unless you are, then sorry about that. But it's the tanto recurve. It's got a drop right here. You know, I like that because it makes the point completely straight on from the handle here. Makes thrusting very, very confident, very strong as well. So that's pretty cool. The secondary edge here for that tanto point makes it so that it goes into stuff pretty well. However, the grinding on here is pretty imperfect. On this side, it's a little bit, you can see the angle here that leads to the secondary edge. It's kind of high for the point. It doesn't line up. This side's even worse. It goes, I would say, like 1/4 of an inch above the actual point. So it doesn't line up well. And it makes it so that the angle here, when you're cutting, is like wobbly, I could say. It makes cutting kind of awkward. It doesn't really bite as well as I think it would, but it definitely flings stuff everywhere. So, you know, I know it's working well, but the edge could be a little bit better, like straight and grinded. Now talking about the edge, the initial sharpness is not too great out of the box, but that's not a big problem. You can always reprofile that yourself. And it's just 440C, so it's not going to be super difficult. The point here, pretty strong. You can see because of the thickness of the blade here. And stabbed into some wood, start prying it laterally, side to side. You know, it took a little bit of a set. I don't know if you can see it. Try to bend it back to shape. It's not straight yet, but it's getting there. But I'm happy that it bent and didn't break, because, you know, can't really repair that. But a bend here, you can just bend it back over. It's going to be slightly weaker than normal, or than before, but it's steel. So, you know, it's going to go into people pretty easily. Doesn't really matter. So, yeah, that's pretty damn good. And also handsome, which is pretty important. But, you know, my biggest problem with the knife, though, is the weight. And that's across almost all of my Hoffman Richter products. All of them, actually. Especially with the sheath here, which doesn't hold the blade that well. It makes it so I'm always afraid of it falling out of my pocket. Or, not my pocket, my belt. Because, you know, I demonstrated before, it just comes off super easy. Which is kind of a shame, because, you know, despite the sheath being cheap looking and stuff like that, it serves its purpose quite well, and I kind of like it. But for its weight and for what you get, it's not amazing. I mean, for example, I know this is not fair, by the way, so I'm going to say that right beforehand before I show you this. My Sock'em Alpha from Microtech. It's around the same length of blade here. You can see, about 5 inches. And this thing is pretty light for its size. It's also really thick. It's just got another bevel in the back, so it looks a little bit thinner than it is. But yeah, this thing is really good. I love it. Thrusts well because, again, completely straight with that. It cuts quite well too because it's got a belly that without a super pronounced secondary tip there. So it serves its purposes quite well. And the handle material is G10, so it keeps its weight down as well. The sheath, you know, Kydex carbon fiber stuff, not fair, because this is like a $200 knife. Well, this thing is like $50, so not really a fair comparison, but I'm just saying, like, this is what a knife should feel like if you want it to be a self-defense knife, and I think the balance is like right there, should be. But the thing is that the blade is so light, you can kind of forgive it for that because it's so spread out throughout the entire blade. Well, this one, like, its balance is like a little bit worse than that, but the big thing is that because the handle is so heavy and disproportionate, it makes it feel awkward as well. But I understand that not all of you have like $200 to spend on a fixed blade knife. So let me just go back to this example here, which is the Buck 119. right here. Sheath's not too great if you want it for a self-defense knife. It just doesn't, not many ways to carry it, but it serves its purpose. It holds the knife, it stays on your belt, and since this is a light bladed knife, it's not gonna like flop around and stuff, and it holds it, of course. And this thing is one of my favorite knives, especially for its price. Like, it's gonna thrust really well. Like, I tried it out, and this thing is really damn good at thrusting. The steel that they use here, I think, is just 440, maybe wrong, maybe 420. But whatever it is, they tempered it well, because this thing is durable for its thickness right here on the point. Like, I thought it was going to be delicate, but no, dude, this thing holds up really well. It's also super sharp out of the box, so if you're not super good at sharpening, like some of us honestly are, then this is a good choice for a self-defense knife. If you just never use it, and when you do, you can use it and stab it into a dude really easily. This would do that quite well. And also the handle is super comfortable. There's no like way to use this handle and make it uncomfortable. The only thing is it's slightly slippery, so if it gets wet you might fall out, but you know, that's not a huge problem for most guys, I think. And of course it's got like a flared bottom, so it's gonna hold your hands quite well before it comes out. So I think this is a good choice for a self-defense knife as well, especially because it's pretty cheap. You can get it for like around $4 to $50 depending on where you buy it, where you live. And this, like, I don't know, like, since it's limited edition as well, I don't think any of you can even buy it anymore. But don't feel too bad. It's not too great. I do like it. It looks really cool. It's got some novelty to it because, you know, they said it's limited edition, so not many people will have this knife. But I think I'm gonna give them away. One of them I'm probably gonna send as a gift to somebody, and the other one maybe to somebody else. Don't know how I'm gonna do that, but yeah, these aren't knives I'd really keep. I've got a whole bunch of knives that are a lot better, more collectible and all that stuff. But you know, if you do have one of these, don't think you got cheated. It's a pretty good knife. The best tool, the most valuable tool is the one you have on you. So if you already bought this, then you're set, dude. You don't have to really buy anything else. If you're satisfied with your product, then who am I to tell you any different, right? Well, I hope you guys have a great day. If you want me to review any other knife, just put it in the comments below. See you guys later.